Okay, SQL window functions. What are they and how do they work? They're pretty powerful. So a lot of the simple functions you'll use in a select query, things like aggregate functions, unless you do something funky with them, they are going to be calculating horizontally on a row by row basis. And you can use functions to calculate on a vertical basis. Something like group by will allow you to summarize into one figure figures from a number of rows. So you might have group orders by customer. You would have a summary figure for all of the orders related to that customer. So that would work vertically, these functions working horizontally. Window functions allow you to do a bit of both at the same time. So you're calculating across a vertical window of data, but providing a value per row based on that row. Very abstract, very theoretical. I wouldn't understand it either. So I'm going to give a couple of practical examples of how that works. So we'll start with lag. The lag function, I'm not going to touch SQL yet, just going to keep it kind of theoretical, abstract. The lag function allows you to look at the previous row, a window of previous row, or previous X number of rows, or all preceding rows in the data set, and then calculate on a row by row basis based on all of the values within that frame, within that vertical frame of rows. Again, that would blow my mind, very theoretical, so let's just make it a bit more down to earth. So we've got a table here for each day total revenue for an organization. Now, imagine you plot that in a chart. I've just used RAM between here to grab random figures, but imagine you plotted that into a chart and you have dips in sales every weekend. Every Monday you get a spike in sales, and there's just so much noise you can't see the pattern of sales over time. It's just all noisy because of daily peaks and troughs. So you might want to look at a rolling average, an average over the last 5 days for each day. So in Excel, I'm assuming pretty much everyone knows how to work with Excel. You'd achieve that by looking at the current day and the last 4 days to get a 5-day rolling average. And you can do this with lag and then copy that calculation down. So in each case, you're calculating there for that row the average of the values in that vertical frame, for this row the average of values in this vertical frame, and so on. So you're calculating across this vertical frame row by row, and that's how lag works. As opposed to, for example, if you used group by, you could summarize, but you could summarize by week, by month, and so on, but it would just give you one summary figure, total revenue for the week, or average revenue for the week, or for the month, and so on. So I hope the difference is reasonably clear there. But to give another example, imagine, I don't have one in front of me right now, but imagine a data set with thousands of movies and IMDb ratings, or Rotten Tomato ratings, something like that. And you wanted to rank all those movies by highest rated to lowest rated. So the rank function, or any of the rank functions, would allow you to calculate for each movie what its rank is using that vertical window of data of all of the ratings. So it allows you to see which was the highest rated movie, second highest rated movie, and so on, by calculating for each row its rank in that vertical window of data of all of the different movies. You can take it a step further by partitioning the data. So if, for example, you wanted to know the highest rated movie by year, you could then partition by year to create a window by year and rank over that partition to provide the highest rated movie of 1985, or if you partition by genre, the highest rated horror movie, and so on. So again, the basic principle, you're calculating row by row using a vertical window of data. So just to quickly go through these First value will, again, from your window, select the first value. So you've got this vertical window of data, and it will select the first value in that vertical window. Last value, nth value, I hope is clear. Same thing, the last value in that window, the nth value. So if you wanted to know a customer's third purchase or something like that, that's how you could do it. Lag and lead. Lag is obviously previous rows. Lead is covers the next row or the next n number of rows or all following rows in the data set. Percent rank does what it says on the tin. Entile, whoa, oops. Entile, this is literally the first tutorial video I'm doing, so excuse any mistakes. Entile allows you, if you wanted, for example, to find your top quartile products by margin, second quartile products by margin, just to for kind of stock ordering priority or something like that. You could do that with entiles, calculate quartiles, deciles. Another example, if you had demographic data and you had household income, you might want to look at the top decile of households by income or something like that. And aggregate functions, I'll cover those a little bit later. You can have running sums and running counts, running averages and so on, much in the same way that I showed you there with lag, but I'll give you a practical example of that later. But hopefully that gives you a basic kind of theoretical overview of window functions and how they work. And I'm going to run through and do a tutorial on each of these. I might skip cumulative distribution because it's not, I think I've used it once in 12 years as a data analyst, so I might skip that one. But I'll do individual tutorials looking at the SQL for each of these with kind of practical real world applications.